Hello fellow YouTubers, Bear Prepper here. Today we're going to make some peach basil jam. I could have swore I had this recipe up on YouTube, but I guess I don't. It's kind of a sweet, savory jam. It's really good. And so what you start with is you take a loosely packed basil leaves and then just chop them up really fine. And I went out to Fredricksburg and got some Fredricksburg Peaches. They are beautiful. Very sweet, yet firm. Really, really juicy. They're the best peaches in Texas. So the first thing you have to do is you have to take your peaches and you have to blanch them in boiling water for 30 seconds to 1 minute. And the way you kind of determine is if you've got a little one like this, that would be 30 seconds. That would be a minute. So let's go ahead and get started blanching these. Now I do not own a water bath canner, but I used whatever pot I want to use for boiling water bath, and I put rings in it. Since I'm doing little jars, I'm using little rings, and I just line the bottom of it. I tend to reuse them over and over because they will rust out on you quicker than any of your other lids. Rings, not lids. So go ahead and just do that, or you can put a towel. I don't like a towel as much. I've shown it. It's not as efficient. Your water doesn't boil as easily. But you could also purchase a water bath canner if that's what you want. So we've got this ready. I'm going to put the jars in it. And when you're water bath canning anything, you must sterilize your jars first and keep them hot. So you drop your peaches in and you let them boil for 1 minute. Take them out, drop them in cold, or I use ice water. There's one of these that's okay, so let's see if I can show you how to peel them. Sometimes it works really good, other times it doesn't. You slice it down wherever that seam is on your peach. Just spin it around it. Twist. Takes it in half. The skin slides right off. Usually slides right off. And then you pop out the other side of the pit. And the other skin slides right off. And that's it. We'll chop them up. But it's pretty easy. Slide where the groove is and just spin it around it. Twist. Now, if you find your peaches are smushing, you're blanching them a little too long. If you find they're like that, where it's hard to get off, you didn't blanch it long enough. You'll get used to it. But they're all still usable. This one has a little non-ripe spot on it. You'll find that if it's not perfectly ripe in a spot, it will be much harder to get the skin off. But just do the best you can. A little skin isn't going to hurt anything. Same with your peach pie. You can do it skin on, skin off. So let me go ahead and get these done. Okay, this is what 1/8 of a bushel looks like. As you can see, I have 2 bowls. I have 1 bowl of perfect halves and 1 bowl of nuts. I mean, they're not bad, but they're not perfect. I'm going to use these for jam to start, and these for making pie filling. So I do have 3 more of these to go, but I'm going to make a batch of jam to start here. So to make my batch of jam, to make peach jam, first thing you want to do is take 4 cups of your peaches chopped up and put them in a pot, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, a 1/4 cup of chopped basil. You can use up to a 1/2 cup. I tend to like a little more chopped basil than most people because it's so good. Cut it kind of small though, because no one wants to bite into a big hunk of basil. Mix it up really good. Now you're going to add 7 1/2 cups of sugar. And you want to stir that in and kind of keep stirring it until the sugar dissolves. If you don't, the bottom of your pan will kind of burn and you'll get a burnt taste in your jam, so make it really, really well. Now we're going to let it come to a boil and add 1 teaspoon of butter. The reason I add 1 teaspoon of butter is it helps the foam from not forming on top of your jelly, so you don't have to scoop off foam and all that kind of good stuff. I don't scoop off the foam. Now, once it comes to a boil, you want to put in 1 pouch of syrup, which is the liquid pectin. And then you're going to boil that for 1 minute. Then we just jar it up, coming to within 1/4 inch of the rim. You can bring it up to 1/2 inch of the rim and then pour wax over it. And this is the way we used to do it when I was growing up. You pour like an 1/8 inch of wax, let it harden, and then pour another 1/8 inch of wax on it. But if you're using metal lids, you want to bring it up to 1/4 inch to rim. You're going to then wipe off all your rims after you've gotten the air bubbles out. You have to remember, anything that has any thickness to it that's not really runny and loose is going to have air bubbles in it. And if you don't get them out, they're going to cause your lids to not seal properly because the food will come out of it. Now, once you've got your lids on these hand tight, you're going to process them in your water bath canner for about 10 minutes. And then you just take them out, and remember to set them on a towel. If you set them on a cold counter, you're going to crack the bottom of your jars. And I'm just showing you how beautiful it looks on bread. It's just wonderful, and oh, it tastes so good. I always tend to taste my jelly while I'm doing the first batch. Now, this is an interesting trick I saw the other day that, being my age, and I still didn't know. Each end of your Glad or your Reynolds wrap have these holes in them. And if you poke them in, it holds your roll. And it really makes getting it out easy. And I thought, at my age, I didn't know. Maybe you didn't know either. So I thought I'd share that tip with you. So that's all there is to it. Peach Basil Jam. Everyone loves it. Make some today. Blessings.